Cote d'Ivoire versus Ecuador is a battle for the first 10 seconds after the ball turns over. That is the angle. Cote d'Ivoire want broken play because Franck Kessie, Seko Fofana, Simon Adingra, and Sebastian Haller are dangerous when the game stretches. Ecuador want control because Moises Caicedo, Piero Hincapié, and William Pacho give them a strong spine through the middle. If Ecuador get 2 clean passes after winning it, Kendry Páez can face forward. If Cote d'Ivoire win the second ball, Haller gets service before Ecuador's backline is set. That first reaction decides the match. Cote d'Ivoire come in with a clear identity from AFCON 2023. They took only 3 points in the group, lost 4-0 to Equatorial Guinea, changed coach from Jean-Louis Gasset to Emerse Faé, then won 4 straight knockout ties. That run says something specific. This team can survive pressure and still find a late moment. Ecuador bring a different profile. Their strongest players are in the spine. Caicedo was born in 2001, Hincapié in 2002, Pacho in 2001, and Páez in 2007. That gives Ecuador legs, recovery speed, and a midfield that can press hard. So the question is simple. Does Cote d'Ivoire turn this into a power game, or does Ecuador make it a clean possession game? The main duel is Moises Caicedo against Franck Kessie. Caicedo wants to step forward, win the ball, and release Ecuador into the space behind Cote d'Ivoire's midfield. Kessie wants to do the opposite. He wants to arrive late, pin Caicedo deeper, and turn clearances into attacks. Seko Fofana matters here because his ball carrying can break Ecuador's first press. If Fofana escapes one challenge, Cote d'Ivoire can attack before Hincapié and Pacho are settled. Ecuador need Alan Franco or Carlos Gruezo, depending on selection, to screen those central runs. Cote d'Ivoire need Kessie close enough to Haller that second balls become shots, not recycled possession. That is why the midfield duel is not about pretty passing. It is about who controls rebounds. Cote d'Ivoire's best attacking route is not a slow pass through the middle. Ecuador are too strong there with Caicedo and Hincapié. The better route is wide, then fast into the box. Simon Adingra proved that in the AFCON final against Nigeria with 2 assists, 1 corner for Kessie, 1 cross for Haller. That pattern fits this matchup. If Adingra isolates a fullback, Cote d'Ivoire can force Ecuador's center-backs to defend while running toward their own goal. Sebastian Haller is the target, but the second runner is just as important. Kessie, Fofana, or Oumar Diakité can attack the loose ball if Haller occupies the first defender. Floating crosses will suit Ecuador because Pacho, Hincapié, and Felix Torres are strong in the air. Low crosses and cutbacks are the smarter option. Ecuador should not chase chaos. Their best spell comes when Caicedo and Páez get touches between Cote d'Ivoire's first and second lines. Páez is young, but he already scored in a World Cup qualifier at 16, away to Bolivia. That matters because he can receive in tight spaces and play early. Ener Valencia gives Ecuador a reference point up front, and his movement into channels can drag Cote d'Ivoire's center-backs away from the box. The switch pass is another weapon. If Angelo Preciado or Pervis Estupiñán, when selected, receives high and wide, Cote d'Ivoire's winger has to sprint back 40 yards. That recovery run is where Ecuador can create the cutback. The danger for Ecuador is losing the ball with both fullbacks high because Adingra needs only 1 open lane. My prediction is 1-1. Ecuador have the better defensive floor because Caicedo, Hincapié, and Pacho protect the center well, and Ecuador kept Colombia, Venezuela, and Chile scoreless in the first 6 matches of 2026 qualifying. Cote d'Ivoire have more direct box threats because Haller, Kessie, and Diakité all attack different zones. I see Ecuador controlling longer spells, especially if Caicedo avoids early fouls. I see Cote d'Ivoire creating the louder chances from wide service and second balls. The first goal may come from Ecuador after a clean midfield exit. The equalizer fits Cote d'Ivoire's recent pattern under Emerse Faé: pressure, cross, rebound, finish. This match comes down to control against contact. Ecuador need Caicedo and Paez on the ball, facing forward. Cote d'Ivoire need Adingra wide, Haller central, and Kessie arriving late. If the game stays clean, Ecuador are comfortable. If it gets loose, Cote d'Ivoire become dangerous fast. For more match analysis, subscribe, and check the description for free predictions on upcoming football games.